Hello everyone. Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing today? Happy Thursday. Can you all hear me loud and clear? Give me a 5 by 5 if you can hear me loud and clear. All right, thank you. So we're going to start. We had 3 news dropped today at 8:30. Unemployment claims, retail sales, core retail sales. When the week started, I told you guys that these 2 days we're going to be looking for best, we're going to get best trading scenarios, and yesterday was one of those days, and you guys were able to get 2 W's, right? 200 points. That was a nice session. So we'll be expecting the same thing today. I don't see any reason for price to like chop. Again, price needs reason to move. That means news. It needs high impact news to not chop, and yesterday we saw price not chopping, providing nice setup, beautiful setup. Same thing today. All right, and tomorrow very likely we're gonna try to chop, as we don't have any high impact news that actually moves market like crazy, like unemployment claims or CPI. All right, so let's take a look at our chart. So these are the levels I'm watching on daily chart. We have this order block. I divided it into quadrant levels. Our next target very likely gonna be this upper quadrant. We're very close to it, and if we don't see any resistance from here, right, our next possible target gonna be this rejection block this week on daily chart, and then this buy side liquidity. Very likely price is trying to come up and fill this, right? This is a liquidity void. It's unfilled. There's no price action on 4-hour chart somewhere here. Another interesting thing you will see on weekly chart, the upper quadrant aligning exactly with the consequent encroachment of these candles, right? Not exactly with the consequent encroachment, but the levels are very close, I believe. Yes, just a little bit lower. Yeah, so probably we'll try to reject from here, and this is a level on weekly chart, right? So even price moves a little bit, we'll be very likely gonna get 2R, and price very likely will do that inside our macro. So upper quadrant aligning with the consequent encroachment. Now we'll try to find if price can reject from these levels, if lower time frame supporting the idea or supports the push higher, right? We left this fair value gap on daily chart on field, so probably we'll try to come back later, right? These are the signatures that price leaves when it starts a trend. So when the trend gets broken, we try to fill them and target them. So on 4-hour chart, these levels are where my eyes are gonna be. Okay, so there's relative equal highs here above this daily swing high from 1st August. 4-hour chart has a lot of equal highs, so probably we'll try to reach for this. But before that, we are also trading inside this fair value gap. There's no signs of weakness inside this fair value gap. We are very bullish. We already violated the mean threshold of this gap, right? Usually the strong signal comes when we try to reject from the midway of any PD array. So I'm gonna zoom in here. I think price will be expanding higher. We'll be finding out our last sign of defense. So getting support from the order block. Very beautiful market structure here. I believe there's also a SMT. Let me check. Yes, there's SMT with this 18 o'clock 14th August low. And the SMT formed with this new 6 o'clock candle down here. Bullish SMT formed prior news. And at news, I don't know if you guys saw or not, there was a nice breaker that we respected. This one, right? We closed above. Market structure was very nice at news, something that we don't get to see often. We closed above, very algorithmic. We respected inversion. Then if you mark these down close candles as order block, you can do that. There's also breaker. So a lot of PDAs and then pushed higher. So I hope price action gonna be good like this. So last standard defense in this scenario, I believe gonna remain as this last down close candle to this push higher. So a lot lower, right? I'm gonna try to find something a lot closer, like somewhere here from 50-minute chart. So that's what I'm gonna take from 4 hour. If we reject lower, right, that's gonna be the first target. We'll try to hit this order block if before pushing higher or dropping lower. So from 4 hour chart, now let's take a look at the hourly. So on hourly, 4 hour order blocks becoming a lot of order blocks, right? Multiple order blocks. So I think yes, this is gonna be the long term market structure shift for me. This is gonna, if price goes below it, right, probably price will form some new PDAs up here, but now we don't see it. So this will be remaining as last line of defense, high probability last line of defense. If price breaks it, then the bias gonna be bearish and we'll be looking for lower targets. Probably not gonna do that today or not at AM session, but later. Okay, so this is our news candle. I'm gonna take the high and the low of this new hourly previous hourly candle. Okay, I forgot to take the measurement of 4 hour candle. So that's our current 4 hour candle, right? It will become a previous 4 hour candle at 10 o'clock. So as 9:30 goes for stop, if we see a Judas above, if we see a move higher, then we can expect distribution lower. If we see distribution lower, price trying to fill the gaps, right? There's a lot of gaps. Then we can expect to see price returning back, getting support from the discount, and then targeting this previous 4 hour high. Very important. Same thing we are gonna do on hourly chart. Now this candle opened inside this previous hourly candle, right? So usually they do power of 3. So what you can do with this candle, you can measure the dealing range, right? And now this is a little bit tough here because there's a lot of fair value gaps. So it's not sure, or even on 15-minute chart, from where we can get support, right? I would like to see a little bit more price action, probably the Judas. But we'll be marking this previous hourly candles high and low. I don't think price will be trying to reach for this. Let's take a look at the 50-minute chart. Yeah, we'll have to wait to see more candles to get a little bit more price action here, right? Otherwise, there's only a unfilled gap. If price leaves these gaps unfilled and then aggressively moves higher, and we did 9:30 delivery, I believe after that, if they still remain unfilled after 9:30, we're very likely gonna reach for these fair value gaps at 9:50 or after the macro, after our 9:20 to 40 macro. So gonna be waiting. Nothing is clear yet. Today is a little bit different than other days, right? With the bias, usually I have a clean specific bias, but today seems like we'll have to wait to see a little bit more price action. Looks bullish though to me. It looks bullish because we did respect it all last line of defense here. Order block, price. When price is respecting order block in a trend, that's a signature that price wanna continue that trend. When we break below those order blocks, they become breaker, and that's a signal for reversal. We don't have anything like that on 4-hour chart. And we also have equal highs, right? So by looking at 4-hour, I think we are bullish. There's a lot of liquidity resting here. No price action at this range. As you can see, this small zone, this is our liquidity void. When we get weak crossing each other, that's what we refer to as volume imbalance. So let's see. We are also trading inside a BPR here. There's also another one. Let's wait. Let's wait and see what price wanna do. I see a lot of equal highs getting generated and left. Do we have a SMT? Nope. Okay, we have one with Dow. Take a look at Dow hourly chart. New hourly candle went above previous hourly candle, and do you see the difference here? So we do have a bearish SMT with Dow, right? But this is not my model. I'm not gonna go for a trade yet. Also, price is inside a time zone that I don't trade, 850 to 910. Right, this is the lowest probability macro to trade, and majority, I would say like 95% of the time, price just chops inside this macro. Right, you'll see sometimes, very rarely, price running inside this macro, and that's when algorithm manipulates beginners to try to trade this time window. It's very difficult. Price don't move in this time window, and there's a lot of time windows like this throughout the whole day. Inversion with breaker means powerful defense area, isn't it? Yes, powerful support, and also when the support gets broken, that becomes high probability resistance. 50-minute candle low, super smooth. 15, did I miss anything on 15-minute? Oh, this one, wickless candles low. Oh, well, if price dropping right now aggressively, then I'm just gonna be watching, because again, I don't see my model here. So this is a B scenario to me. If price provides anything, then that's a trade that I'll be just tape reading or demo trading. Right, so let me put my advisor tool here. Bias still not clear. All right, we're gonna wait. Probably we're gonna depend on what price does inside the macros rather than like following a specific bias. Right, yesterday I was wrong with the bias. I had a bullish bias, but price was like trending lower. Then after a while it became bullish again. But we were able to catch both of the moves, the sell side delivery, the buy side delivery, and we were able to do it because we don't marry a bias, right? And today it's not clear. Yesterday it was a little more clear to me than today. I won't say I was wrong. I was wrong for the session. It did not move until 10 o'clock, right? It reversed at, I think, at 10:50. When was the last trade? Yes, here. So I thought it's gonna be trending higher at 9:30 or after 9:30, then it dropped, then it became bullish again. So I won't say I was wrong, as the bias remained bullish, but today it's not clear, so gotta wait. Okay, let's do a pool, right? We can do a pool on bias. Let's see what the Telegram will say. What's your bias for NQAM? Bullish, bearish. I'm on this category, profitable either way, right? So let's say what people do and what people think. Okay, we formed a new fair value gap on 15-minute chart. I don't trust this scenario. So gotta wait. If I'm not patient, I'm gonna take a losing trade. Yesterday, I did that, right? So don't wanna do that again today. It requires just a little bit more patient, and then a winning trade comes. So impatient takes that W from us. Okay, market structure on a 15-minute chart seems like getting a little bit better. I would say because of this fair value gap here. We also have another unfilled gap. If I want to take a short, right? If I want to take a short, then I would like to see these weeks, these equal highs getting delivered. I would like to see a little bit more price action towards buy side. If we reject from here, I'm not going to be able to trade it because I don't trust this fair value gap as inversion, because price can also get support, right, from this fair value gap. Usually, when do I trust a fair value gap like this? When I see order blocks inside those gaps, multiple down close candles in between the push, and here we don't have anything like that. We only have one candle here, then another. So probably we'll have to wait. If we wait, I think I have two scenarios in mind. Price can come lower, tap into this BC, form a Judas higher, and then aggressively drop lower. We'll find a breaker or inversion here, and that will be a plus scenario. And price can also drop lower now with this SMT, right? See this midway, this 50-minute gap midway is aligning with the swing low here that comes inside the fair value gap. So we can also tap into the midway, then show willingness to go higher, probably an inversion here, and that's gonna be a plus scenario as well. So these are the two A plus scenarios that I have in mind. If price want to present something different, then we'll see. At 8:30 we had news today, Mahi. At high impact news as like unemployment claims, CPI. We move a lot. What do you think about power of 3 on weekly candles? Previous weekly turtle soup the low of the bearish candle prior, and now the draw is bearish weekly candle high. Power of 3 on weekly chart, yes, we were profitable all these days when price moved higher, right? We were able to predict the bias. So again, we did the bias already, right, Abby? So those who join late, I don't know why you join late, try to join by 9 o'clock. That's when we do the bias, and there we talked about the targets as well and what we think on weekly chart. We are bullish, right? On weekly, price very likely will be trying to reach for this consequent encroachment of this week. If we don't get any resistance from the consequent encroachment of this week that aligns with the upper quadrant of this order block, right, then we'll be reaching for this buy side liquidity. Now these levels are on weekly and daily chart. You don't have to be precise. You don't have to know where from where exactly price can reject, right? Price, if you can predict the move a little bit, that's enough. Price will be giving you 2 hour. So that's how I do it. If I don't level by level on chart, if I don't see any resistance here, I'm expecting resistance here from here because we have unfilled gaps lower, right? That's what price sees as a target. We try to fill them. So if we leave this unfilled, then what's the nearest level for us to take order and reject this upper quadrant? We also have previous 4-hour candles high up here, right? Previous hourly candles high as well. So I have my own narrative. Let's see what price does. We were already in profits from yesterday, right? So don't want to lose those. Is ICT streaming today? I think he is streaming. Let me check. I was watching on Twitter yesterday, like somebody posted a meme on ICT. Let me find that. Right. I think he took a trade recently on stream. I was not watching him, but probably yesterday, right? Anybody watched him taking a trade yesterday on stream? Or day before? He did not. Okay, let me show you a video. The day before, the day before I think he took a trade. And let me show you the reason. Like that turned out to be a losing trade suddenly, like instantly, not suddenly. And his reason was pretty funny. The reason that we all say every time, we used to say, we don't say it anymore.
I'm going to show my trade. You watched me do it the other day. I was showing you my trade. I even told my son, I said, I'm going to show my trade. And as soon as I make my stop loss public, good old Phil, right to the stop, and then it'll go where I want it to go. But it doesn't change the fact that it was a winning trade. Okay. You watched me do it the other day. I was showing you my trade.
Did you just heard that?
Told my son, I said,
That's so funny, right? Like, that's embarrassing at this point. How can I then rewatched his calling? He did not basically executed any trade. He was calling market with a specific stop loss. Like suppose when I do with RR tool, right? I don't enter in the trade in front of you, but we call the market with the level. So he did this not with RR tool, but with the levels, but and then suddenly price moved lower in just 6 seconds. So how can algorithm sees his stop in just 10 seconds and move lower? That's so dumb reason to make. Like when you are the same person who introduced us to algorithm and price don't see like anybody's stop. It says pattern and pattern has stops, right? It says liquidity. How can algorithms see one specific person's stop? You are not that big of a trader. You can't be. You can't beat banks, right? At this point, I think he is trolling us or he can trade. Now these are the two reasons that I found for myself, right? He's the best teacher in the world, but he can trade live. So that's funny. No argue on that. He's the best teacher, right? You cannot overlook his contribution to the community. And we are today able to do and look at chart like this, so clean and with so confidence because of his teaching. But when it comes to calling the market, right? We know how to call the market. We are calling the market every day. He will never do that. Like why? And when he loses, right? I have never seen him taking a winning trade, honestly, live. I have watched, like, I'm a student who watched his 2016-17 mentorship, all his leaked content. I tried to buy everything that he had on his private mentorship, and though in those live stream as well, he were losing. And that time his excuse was like somebody hacked his computer. I remember, guys, like, I'm not trolling or anything. He was taking a trade, I think, on pound, British pound, live explaining the concept, and that trade turned out to be a losing trade as soon as he opened the position. And then he was like, okay, somebody hacked his computer or something, and he's gonna log off. Now I heard people making better excuses, right? I just don't get it. Why, bro, you have to make such a dumb excuse? There's better excuse than that, right? You can just say like you are not comfortable trading in front of people. People will accept it, right? I will accept it. Probably a lot of you will disagree with me. It's just my personal opinion. I respect him from all my heart. I love that person. I love when he talks. But that's where I disagree. This is my personal opinion. People have their own reasons, right? Something that I can do with 4 years of experience, uh, and I'm also his student, and he has 30 plus years of experience, and he can do anything similar to this. That's where it surprises me a lot, right? He said it more than 100 times that he would clean out Larry Williams' record. Yes, he said that. Impossible. I believe with my 4 years of experience, I'm not a great teacher or a trader like him, but with my 4 years, I don't believe 11,000% return is possible in three. If you are telling me 500% return or 1,000%, I would believe, okay, that's possible. Market trends a lot, Nasdaq moving a lot these days, but I don't know. He's kind of funny, right? He streaming now. He said many times why he doesn't trade live. Many of us are profitable because of him, and I would never have been able to learn from someone that really can trade. Of course, he can trade. No, I'm saying like there's you are Irish. You don't have any experience with teaching. All right. If you try to teach somebody trading, you don't have to know how to trade. All right. Trading is like that because everyone sees pattern in the market. ICT don't trade with the pattern, but with his experience, he sees a lot of things on chart, right? In hindsight, I can explain these moves like a pro, and you all will enjoy it bit by bit, candle by candle. And I try to look for the same things on chart, right? That's what I'm saying. If I can learn from him and do this, right, and amaze you all, then why he can do it, right? And every time he tries to do it, that's a losing trade. I don't have an issue with it. It's just an interesting topic to talk, right? I have heard ICT is starting only. Don't need that. He's a millionaire by now. ICT I guide others to the treasure I cannot possess. No, he can't possess it. He possessed it. He can teach it, but probably he can trade in hindsight, right? In his own place, he probably can trade, but not live. That's what I'm saying. He probably is a good trader alone. We don't know. Okay, so even it was harder for me to believe. I'm a fan, right? I'm a big fan of him. I'm a student who is grateful to his teaching. I wanted to see him like winning, and I was a guy who believed it when he said he will make 11,000% return. I waited, and nothing happened. I did not wanted it, right? I did not wanted it. He threw that in our face. He was like, "Okay, I'll do it." Nobody said it to do it. All right. So the first scenario that I outlined to you is repeating, right? As I told you, if we try to push higher from this fair value gap and leave majority of the gap unfilled, right, we are very likely gonna do the Judas towards buy side and then drop lower. So let's wait. It seems like that's what's repeating. SMT very likely gonna fail. So let's wait, guys. All right, I see sell side not balanced. All right, we have a lot of liquidity left lower, so I'm not gonna be interested into bullish trades, but you can outline bullish scenarios here. To me, these are B. That's a plus breaker though, right? That's a nice breaker. That's a plus breaker. Overall, I don't trust this scenario, so not looking for trades. But yeah, that was a nice breaker. Let's wait to see the Judas. This is a plus breaker, but overall market structure is not A plus. All right, so I'm not gonna go for this breaker. If this trade turns out to be a winning trade, like if price moves higher, I'm just gonna watch. You guys know that I very rarely feel FOMO, so this is what I have in my mind. And tape reading this again, nothing here for me to take live. All right, these are B scenario for demo. I did not see this breaker when price activated it, right? But this is what I have on my mind, tape reading it. If I have seen it earlier, then I would have outlined it before price activated the breaker. This is a plus breaker. Those who don't know how it's a plus breaker, you will have to go and watch the lecture I did on breaker. Right here you will find why it's a plus. Pattern wise is A plus, but overall market structure wise, going for a long to me here is not A plus, as we have lower liquidities, right? And it's A plus because we have swing low, we delivered below it. We have a swing high, we delivered above it here. Right? Do we have a bullish SMT? Everybody is screaming SMT. Where? Oh, we have a bearish SMT. Okay, I just saw it now. No, I don't think it's gonna work. All right, I don't think it's gonna work because that's our previous hourly high. We'll try to, yes. See, this breaker worked, guys. I hope somebody was able to take this. Anybody took a trade from this breaker? Anybody saw it? I missed it. I was looking at this one. This one also worked, but I would have felt more confident on this one if I have seen it on prior 9:30. Like here, it activated the breaker, right? You can see we closed above, retest, respect to the fair value gap. Okay, probably we're gonna try to do the Judas now, as I explained to you, right? So let's see. Let me help me with finding the fair value gap or inversion. Okay, I have found the breaker. Seems like a structure like yesterday, right? Yesterday we took a short. Let's wait. Price can also use them as order block, and that's what it's doing right for now. I'll wait because this candle, look how it closed lower. This is our buy side liquidity. This is our previous hourly candles high, and the candle body closed lower, so that's a signature. from price, if I'm not wrong, to push lower. Still respecting the breaker. A plus breakers are powerful, right? If you can spot a plus pattern, a plus breaker, that seems like working, at least giving 1-to-1. $50. If this candle closes below, like look at the body of the candle, staying lower, right? Staying lower than this swing high or this candle's high. Let's see. So the 3 reset and entered on the third candle. Those who took the trade, W, there was a nice opportunity. I missed it. Some of you saw it, right? Nice. Nice TJed. HYDRA, you should do daily best execution rating or maybe a section for people to put losses and they can ask what went wrong. Yes, we have the section here at Ask HYDRA. You can ask me questions here, right? And yes, I'll try to do that from today. That's what I've been doing, like the reviews, but not consistently. We'll see. We'll try. Okay, order block here again, something that I don't trust. If you see a trade, go for it. I see this order block here, right? So another B scenario, if we activate the order block along, I'm not interested in them. TJet saw along that I was not interested, right? So if you see anything similar, don't hesitate to engage. Like that was a nice trade. Always prioritize your own analysis over mine, guys. All right. Oh, another entry. Nice. That's a quick one, right? That's a quick one. Okay, we closed lower. I don't think we're gonna remain bullish. All right. I don't trust the bullish scenario here. I believe we'll try to reach for low. We'll try to deliver lower prices. So that's a mitigation block. I see here. I can also refer to them as order block. ASMT as well with Dow here. Wait. 936. Yeah, we are still. This A plus breaker is powerful. Damn, this was the trade. Right, I did not see it. But learned something. Price form this. Not learn something, I did not see it on the correct moment, right? Very nice. Still gonna be waiting, all right? Let's see. Yeah, B structure. Overall, the structure was a B to me, and I explained to you why. Because of the unfilled gaps lower. Pattern was A plus. The breaker that formed, that was A plus. So I think I was wrong, right? I don't think price was or algorithm was seeking sell side delivery here. They already did the Judas. Now I'm not good at one stage delivery, right? That's something that I don't have an edge on. I have an edge on two stage delivery where the Judas forms at 9:30 and then we reverse, right? Here you can see the Judas already formed, probably this one, because we don't see that right now. So when do we do that? When we try to do one stage delivery. In one stage delivery, we form the Judas prior 9:30. We go for the liquidities or tap into discount level right prior 9:30. We also haven't tapped into the upper quadrant. At the 10 a.m. candle, it's very likely we'll have an hourly fair value gap. What do you think? At 10 a.m. candle hourly chart, let's take a look. Lower, yes, probably. We're very close to 950 macro. Let's see. We also traded above. This new current upcoming 4-hour candle will give us insight. We can get insight on hourly as well. Probably we'll try to reach for this, right? It makes sense for the next candle to drop lower and tap into this fair value gap. Let's see. ICT is live. Let's see what he's speaking or saying.
Really expensive, very, very expensive. And a lot of traders with deeper pockets are going to wait to count, and they're not interested in trying to buy these inflated prices. The public.
How is this market from experience? Tradable. All right. Every market is tradable when you are patient. Only market that I can trade when price is in high resistance, but today it's not looking like those days. Price is trending, right? It's not in high resistance, but it's one-sided. Let's see. I tend to get less I get less confidence when market is one-sided. He's saying exactly what you said. Not interested in buying. Yes, his analysis is gonna match with ours a lot. All right, that's a reflection of me being a good student, right? I studied a lot, so what I do reflects his teaching. Our analysis matched the day before. The day before, I think I also told you guys that our analysis matched. Our entry, our trade, one trade that I took live. It was on this stream, I believe. That entry, the calling, the trade exactly matched with his trade as well. So let's see. Okay, he has a new level on chart, this one. So he's seeing this as turtle soup, our A plus turtle soup profile 1, right? Those who remember there, we expect to see price delivering to one side and then target the opposite direction. Okay, help me with the inversion. Let me see if I can spot inversion. Okay, I see order block. I see order block on 3-minute chart. That's the breaker block on 1-minute chart. These down close, up close candles.
And then you would look to see if it wants to get down into this one. But you're taking one step at a time. You're not trying to go in here and pick the top. You're not trying to call the top. You're looking for signatures to support an idea that you're hunting, that will be part of your repertoire and your model. You're not forcing your idea. You're not arm wrestling. You're not
See,
trying to
he's
impose your will. You're
saying
not saying it
exactly
has
the
to
same thing
happen.
that I try
You're
to do,
watching to
and
see if
I
these things
recommend each
do in
and every
fact
one of you
form
to
in
do.
price action.
Right?
You gotta be really, really relaxed. Try not
Really, really
to
relaxed.
expect
Like
everything
you
to
gotta be
pan out
not thinking about the trade at all.
to
Let
your
the
wishes
trade
every
come to
day,
you,
because
right?
it's not going to be like that always.
And right now it's not here.
Okay, small little gap right here. Right there. Between that candle and this candle's high. I keep telling myself, pour my water into a cup that it's not always making that noise. But just think of it as ICT ASMR. I got people that leave comments and say, I like when you whisper. I wish you would talk your commentary in whispers. And then I have other people saying, dude, why are you whispering? I'm creeped out. And you think I'm bipolar. my audience is bipolar. They're never, they're never satisfied.
Bipolar people are funny. At least they make you laugh, right? Okay, we are respecting order block here. Again, I'm not interested into longs. The scenario that's repeating here, we have seen it a lot, but
When we're
it's
passing
repeating in
to
a market
the original
structure
buy
that I
side.
don't trust. So this is
Yeah.
what we can tape read now, all right? A 2-hour scenario with this order block. Again,
If you
B
look back
scenario.
at
So you can
what we've
take it
been
on your
doing
demo
since
account, tape read
Tuesday,
it.
as I mentioned on that
If
day,
you
I
are
said
impatient,
even
right?
if it wants to keep going
I'm
higher, it's
not, I'll
okay.
wait.
We're not trying to pick a top, we're not trying to pick a bottom, but we're looking for logic to frame a, a form of study that will hopefully, and help formulate a routine that we go into price and we look for these types of things to occur.
Dodgy in one of his video yesterday in his Discord mentioned your name, saying that you learned inversion fair value gap from him. This came after ICT made some comments about Dodgy about inversion. That's so dumb to give time to those comments. All right, are you fucking dumb? ICT have been teaching reclaimed fair value gap PDRAs that can be reclaimed. People believe that he is the one who Dodgy is the one who created inversion because they are dumb, first of all, and second of all, they're lazy to check out the authentic source, right? I have been using inversion as reclaimed fair value gap a long time ago. I've been using order blocks that later I learned failed order blocks as reclaimed order blocks. Later I learned from ICT to call them breaker. So ICT been teaching that a lot. He does teach these concepts specifically on his through his live stream, right? So just avoid those comments. Waste of time. There's a lot of people who claim they invented something like a Romeo, power of three, copy paste from ICT, name it. What it is? CRT, candle range theory, and then there comes the inversion, right? Fair value gap that fails. There's a guy who claims he created it. Those are negative emotion, guys. I don't want in my life or in my trading. I never give any attention to the troll because of these reasons. I need my psychology a plus. My only aim to here to make money. My focus is to make money. If I lose money in a day, my focus is to improve the next day and not make the same mistake. I don't care who did what. I only care about what ICT did, right? He's my mentor. Other than that, everybody else, distraction should be avoided at all time. Zero attention. All right, so market seems like chopping, and we are patient, waiting. Romeo is the most toxic person I have seen on Twitter, lol. I remember when Romeo said he was doing a course for the first and only time, and now he's dropping a new one every month. Now you can't deny he has a skill of selling, right? He has a good seller, a good marketer, but again, those are the people who can trade live. They are full of ego. If you have seen Romeo's like talking, he will mention himself as best trader or everybody else. They don't know anything, and he won't trade live, right? Trust me on this. People who can really do it, right? They will do it live, or they will have a track record that will prove that they have a like proven statement. Those who can't do none of that, they will only do it by talking, and there's a lot of those guys in our industry who can just talk, and a good teacher, of course, but can trade. Okay, I see another potential. I don't have to wait for price to violate this. All right, there's this that I see, this breaker. So if price comes lower, goes below it, I'm gonna be going for a short, and that will be the A plus scenario. I won't say A. Can I say A plus? Yes, I see a lot of targets. I hope there's sometimes, you know what price does, it aggressively drops lower, giving no chance for me to enter. So even though I'm correct, sometimes price does that. I don't want to see price doing that. I want to see a slow delivery, right? I don't want to see suddenly price getting volatile. I want to see price closing lower below this and then dropping lower. First confirmation for the market structure shift will be coming from here. The same exact level has a order block on 3-minute chart. See, there's a separation with down close candles, right? So when we reject lower, these up close candle will be working as a high probability order block to give market structure shift. Those who don't know what I'm talking about, right, you can check out my lecture here on inversion. Just replace the word of inversion with order block and they have the same narrative. All right. Name don't change the fact. Every PDRA can be reclaimed more than once. They can be retested, re-entered, retraded, and it's same for each and every PDRA. You can use order block and you can use order block as inversion order block as well. You can use breaker. You can also use breaker as inversion breaker. That means that can be reclaimed and used as resistance if that was support. That's the old retail theory, guys. Support turning resistance, resistance turning support. Retails, you will see them marking boxes like this, right, at important levels like swing high or swing low. And when price breaks them, they use the same level as resistance. Nothing new. ICT did not invent those stuff, right? He just made these concepts more easy to grab, a lot of information, putting it together, making it simply for us, right? So if ICT is not the authentic author of this, how can somebody else who learned from ICT can be the authentic author, right? And people don't understand that because first of all, 90% are lazy. 90% don't put in enough time. 90% will believe there's a pattern that will work and make them profitable. 90% will believe all these things and keep losing and repeat the same thing and eventually one day quit. Right? It's only trending, guys. I'm not interested in this market. This is not my market, all right? I know market. I know when the price action is a plus. Then you guys have seen that I have an edge marking out or spotting a plus scenario for me that goes for my model. Probably that's a plus scenario for you. You can also trade this. I'm not saying you can trade it. There's breakers, there's order block, there's more order blocks, but not as a plus structure or a structure for me, right? This is a B scenario that I don't trade. Again, tape reader or demo. And the reason is very clear. Those who have been watching me for some time, you guys already know it. There's too many relative equal lows here, right? There's too many relative equal lows. There's too much of trend line liquidity here. Right, so I'm gonna wait and be patient. This is not something that I traded. You won't find any trade me taking where there's so many equal lows. I accept to get wrong, but I don't try to go against them, all right? Because the best market move comes with them. Where market now it's struggling right now. Look, there's a lot more candles. And now remember this, when market reverses, it will do delivery distribution with less candles. Why does it do that? Right? Because it aggressively runs for stops. These are stops, sell stops. There's a lot of retail sell stops. So when price reverses, right, it don't want to give chance to those to take out their stop or put it to break even. So that's what basically happens in high resistance, right? This is what high resistance looks like. Market does high resistance in many ways. So this is a type of high resistance that you can basically trade. In high resistance, always remember price generates targets, and after high resistance there's always low resistance delivery that comes. That means speedy delivery. So that means there's a lot of stops. Now the speedy delivery can come in many ways. One of the ways is aggressively one candle or two, three candles aggressively. No chance for us to enter. There's another way, a slower way, but in low resistance, right? Like this, giving us multiple chance to enter, look for safe entries, best entries, A plus entries. Even if you miss entry from here, you probably will get chance from order block or something. There's also another way, when price keeps chopping and don't do anything, that's where it gets people, and that's where people blows account, right? It will do this, and now the bias with, like, when it comes to the bias, you can be right, but when it comes to trading this, you can't be right because of the structure, and that's what can happen as well. For to for me to prevent myself to engage in scenarios like this, I have a rule. You guys know about this rule that says not to take more than one entry on one account inside one macro. So suppose I took a trade here, turned out to be losing it, I'm not going to engage again in the same account. All right, and that helps me a lot to like not take more losses or not go into the revenge trading level. That's very easy to go there. If it trends like this, I'm just gonna watch. Let's listen to ICT.
My mentality is I know that entities with larger pools of income and equity and money to put on a trade, better and greater than I do, they're not willing to take any interest in the market when it's rallying initially right off the opening like this. It would rather be more likely that they'll wait for the market to come back and go into a pool of liquidity where there's deeper discounted prices, and that's always going to be below old lows, singular or relatively equal lows. And waiting for those instances is far better than just simply saying, it keeps going up, just keeps going up. Let me just get in there because it might just keep going. It could just keep right on going up today. And just like on Tuesday, I don't care. I don't care about that because I'm not trying to be just a part of the move. I want to be in a setup that I have framed with logic that I've recognized, I've seen before. And I'm not just going in there for the sake of, I want to put another coin in the slot machine to see if I can get a jackpot today. That's gambling. So in other words, it has to make sense or I'm not doing it. I'll let other people out there demo and do the trades and try to fade me and say, I did this. But you won't have any logic behind it. It'll just because you wanted to say you did something different. I was reading Tanja's chat yesterday while I was going back over the people I like looking at. And I'm reading the comments. They're saying ICT doesn't know where the market's going to go. Even ICT doesn't even know where the market's going. I was outlining it yesterday. These people are really funny. Really funny. Let's take a peek at the. Let's look at the weekly chart.
What's his chart now? He is pointing at the same levels that I showed you guys this morning. Watch him do his analysis on weekly and see how much it matches with ours.
Is that what that is? It looks like it. used it as a means of support. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? The other reason why I'd like to see it trade lower before I would ever want to go long is if you look at the opening range, it's annotated with the high of it here, which is the opening price at 930. Many times, many times, even when you have runs that just start running like this, they'll want to come back down, in this case, come down and touch the opening range high, which is simply the opening price. And then if it wants to keep going higher, then it can start to go higher and press through that going into the close of the week. Either way, this is still nothing I would chase. I would not want to be a part of that. And I can understand if you're new or if you're rather a novice, you've been trading for a little while, you may be demo trading, maybe you passed the funded account but never got a payout, and you're just always constantly looking to validate yourself by having criticism directed towards somebody else. And if I'm sitting out here and everybody knows I'm a little bit of a loudmouth, and you see runs like this and you're saying, well, he should be part of that. Well, I'm not interested personally in trying to chase after that, and that's been my roles ever since I stepped out as a trader, educator type guru, if you want to call it that. You'll see more instances of trying to chase it and then failing than it just keeps going higher and higher and higher and never turns around. Like, these are unsustainable price runs. There has to be some kind of a retracement. And if you don't believe me, go in with your account and trade it and see how hard it is to hold it, number one. Every little fluctuation or candlestick that stays small and doesn't really rally, you're going to start feeling all of this anxiety because you're like, oh man, because it's too perfectly one-sided. And to me, that's just too enticing for someone to get raked across the coals, and I'm not willing to be the person to do that. So I will give up price runs like that, just like on Tuesday. It's not important to me. It has to make sense. So we're in 10 o'clock now. Look at the Dow. It's another reason why I'm not a fan of going in it, because NASDAQ is the only one. Isn't it interesting that I'm live streaming and I'm not looking for it to go higher. I'm looking for it to go lower and to keep driving it higher. Because some of you are probably trying to predict and trying to capture the high and trying to go short. And if anyone's doing that, you're providing liquidity for that market to keep rebooking higher, because they know they can use your trade to book that higher price that they keep pumping out into the marketplace. They keep offering higher prices, and you go into the market order, you go in with the limit order that meets that criteria, that you keep pushing price. The whole time, Dow, and I don't make the case for SMT just on the basis of Dow, but look at Dow compared to ES. This is SMT. Look at the ES.
Okay, so as I was saying, sorry, I was muted. I was saying like this probably gonna be the sell side move. All right, I don't wanna miss it. So I hope I'm not impulsive, because when I'm impulsive, I make wrong decisions. So I hope I'm not impulsive, and I hope that's the correct move right now, because we reached so much higher, right? We traded. Okay, let me see where we are at higher time frame. Yeah, we traded inside this fair value gap. We also traded above the upper quadrant. So I think this candle can take us lower. Yeah, so let's see. I wanna see this 5 minute turning into inversion, alright, because I don't trust 3 minute fair value gaps as inversion. There's a lot. Price can use any of them to get higher again, right? So 5 minute has less. I'm gonna keep my focus on 5 minute chart here. Yeah, I don't wanna fall. It's kind of feeling impulsive a little bit, because I know the move's gonna happen lower, because we have seen it so many times. That's what we do every day. This remains as our target all day, right? There's a lot of sell stop. So price will eventually move lower and take liquidity. It has this unfilled gap as well. 8:30 news low with no wick. A lot of reasons to move lower. Price can also manipulate people thinking that that's the move, right? So that's where I'm a little bit cautious about. And I believe I can avoid it by looking at 5 minute chart. If we keep our focus inside these two fair value gaps, I think we're gonna be good for a reversal. We paid HYDRA to watch free ICT stream lol. There's nothing to do here on chart. That's what I'm listening to him. When there's important things, if you are so worried about your pay, leave. Alright. I try to do what I like on my streams, not something to please someone. Because when I try to do that, it affects the trading. So I'm also trying to listen to him, because I don't know everything on chart, right? And whenever I have time, I try to listen to him, so that I probably will learn something new, right? Like here, I don't know like what price is gonna be doing, and seems like he is like me. He also don't know what price is gonna be doing, and he's also saying he don't know every move, right? So it's very normal to not know every move. I don't trust this scenario. Would it not mark more sense to see NQ trade to 19500 level and create SMT with ES before we go lower? Yes, it would make much more sense, because that's a nice price level. 20, 40, 60, 80, and 0. These are the price levels that we use as support and resistance, aligned with other logic, right? But if we try to reach for 500, right, why not? Why don't we try to reach for this? Okay, probably not. Yeah, 500 looks like a nice level. What do we have here on weekly chart? Consequent encroachment of this week, right? Okay, so I see a scenario, still not visible though. Still not visible. The A scenario will be visible once we go above these two fair value gap, right? And make them inversion. We can use this order block to get support. We don't have to trade to the discount, but again, I'm more confident for shorts. Like I feel like this is something that I'm trying to force. Right? We gotta be patient, guys. This is a market structure. Price does this to make us doubt the scenario, right? When price is not doing this, remember the other days, yesterday we did not doubt the setup when we went for short. We knew exactly at the moment that that's the move, right? Today there's so much doubt if it's the correct delivery or not. So I'm gonna wait. I feel like I'm gonna force a trade. I'm probably gonna tape read this one. All right, I have this view on mind. So we wait, and if price violates this inversion, I believe the scenario will get much higher, because I've seen market structure like this so many times, and there's reason for price to move. So at least I believe 1-to-1 will be possible if we violate this. We'll be tape reading it. All right, we'll be tape reading it. Let's listen to ICT.
But you see the things I'm showing here. This gap, we want to see a trade there. There's an inefficiency here. This one, we want to see that treated as an exhaustion gap. This one, we want to see it stay open in the upper half of it, because if it can't trade up into this portion of it, that means it's really heavy, and we can have a strong conviction. I would have a strong conviction about it potentially returning back to the 930 opening price and leaving that pink area up here unfilled. Okay, in other words, don't completely close it in. Can it go up there and close that in and still go lower? Yes. It's just a matter of, I prefer it not to do that. We've had 1, 2 little wicks above outside of this, but where the
Okay, so seems like we are getting support from this order block, right? ICT just explaining random stuff. So I believe they will take us higher again. And ICT probably expecting resistance from here. As you can see, he marked this level as unfilled here. But again, I don't know how he can see it as resistance, this fair value gap alone. Probably he's explaining. I'm gonna listen to him after the stream, but I don't see price rejecting from here, right? Or at least I'm not confident in a rejection from here. Rather, if price violates this, I'm gonna be very confident, and in my eyes, price will make this scenario much more high probability than what we have right now, right? So this is what I'm expecting, a 1-to-1. If we reject from here, then I'll be feeling confident to go for a short if we violate this 5-minute fair value gap and turn into inversion, right? So for market structure shift, I'm not relying on 1-minute chart today, as it's one-sided. I'm going to rely on higher time frame like 3 and 5-minute chart. Specifically, I think 5-minute chart. Would it he dropped a lot of gems in this session for his son. He has never shared before. He said, I've not watched any of his live streams. I watched only only the first one, and he seemed like very basic to me. He knows every move when he's not streaming though. He's good at explaining. Hydra, you don't need to know what it's doing all the time. You are teaching us your model. Yes, that's what I try to say to you all. That you don't have to know each and every move. Don't frustrate yourself, right? I used to do that a lot. Frustrate myself over not knowing or missing like a clean move. Then with time, I was able to work on it. You don't have to know all the move. If you are familiar with the move that repeats, that's enough. And I'm very familiar with the move that repeats. I have an edge on spotting A plus setup and avoiding low probability setup. Right? So I don't see those things on chart yet. Would you maybe look for a push higher to touch the hourly CB before looking for shorts? Yes, somebody said the 500 level, and that made me think, can we push higher? And we'll check the higher time frame. And I think we'll try to reach for this, right? 505 level these weeks, or probably this fair value gap as an inversion 4-hour chart at 516. Either way, I think a 1-to-1 is possible. I have explained to you what I see, right? That's something that you won't see ICT doing. He don't like getting wrong. He all the time explains both side market, right? As a mentor, I want him to be specific when he's live streaming, right? That's something that I do. That's something other streamers do. That's something that he don't do. To be specific about your callings. Like here, I was expecting support. I told you that price can likely get support. You can see the signature that it left, right? The candle's body closed above. That's the first signature. Done. 5-minute chart. Look, fair value gap has bullish fair value gap. So as soon as I saw this signature on my mind from my journal, as I do a lot of journal, a back testing, a lot of tape reading on my mind, I've seen this structure a lot. So I've taken a lot of trades that looked exactly like this. If you go on my Twitter, you'll find examples. So that's why I said if price pushes higher and makes it inversion, as I've seen this pattern before, it will make the scenario from B to A, not A plus because we have liquidity lower, but this scenario has much more higher probability to work, and it's a scenario because I can trust it, right? Absolutely, it's helping a ton just to focus on the breaker and not care about the rest. I'm just happy because not taking a trade or just important as taking a plus setup. My old self would have tried to look for a trade and force it. We all did that. He looks for SMT with ES. YM often does the inverse of NQ and ES. Yes. I want to see, I have already told you guys many times that I see price. I consider when NASDAQ and ES move together as high probability. That market condition gives high probability a plus structure that goes with my model. Only when Dow is working as an inverse pair, right? So we need NASDAQ and ES moving together, pretty much moving together, not exactly the same way, and Dow completely doing opposite delivery. When it does that, you will see NASDAQ and ES not chopping. They won't chop, rather they will fly. They will give low resistance A plus scenarios. Again, learn from ICT, right? Buy side liquidity is ambiguous. I hate watching ICT stream. He only gives advice on trades that lose. Oh my god. Okay, today seems like a test of patience, right? Usually we take one trade by now. It's okay, we are patient. Seems like rejecting from the gap. Still a B scenario for me. When it comes to the reversal, the scenario will get A to me when we inverse these 5-minute fair value gaps. As long as we have this intact, every scenario that we do here gonna be a B scenario until we turn this fair value gap into inversion. That's gonna be a scenario. So price can do two things. So let's wait. If it's not chopping, it will do either long or either short. He just told everyone it's silver bullet hour. Here's the gap I want to see unfilled, which probably lead people to put their stops there above the inversion fair value gap only for it to reverse on them, lol. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, now I can understand what he's doing, but people don't live stream like that, right? You are live streaming, but still you are doing it in hindsight. You are not calling the moves. You are explaining the moves that already happened. So how can you say that's a live stream? You see the trick there? I struggled with patience, so this day is a very good training. You are welcome. The only trade I took today was from 50-minute inversion that ran 50 points on news. Release 8:30. I have seen only one setup that I would have felt confident if I have seen it on correct in the correct moment. This one I missed it. I've seen it off when price was doing a retest, and as you guys know, I don't trust the retest, the second retest. For me, it's always the first retest. That's the best entry. So that this was the only trade that I think I would have taken. I don't think I would have like felt confident to go for a long from here, even though I saw it. Okay, let's see, guys. Today is a test of patience. Look at market structure. I'm glad we are in profit since yesterday, right? Otherwise, I would have felt much more impulsive. When I did not take, like, suppose any trades for 2-3 days, that becomes more impulsive those days to avoid trades. Okay, 20 to 40, our focus is now inside here, and seems like the scenario that I explained to you is now repeating, right? Let's see. Already price confirmed multiple times that it wanna go higher. It still has business left. This is like Tuesday, no setups, and probability of getting a plus setups gets lower as we continue to see the one-sided delivery. Yes, even if you allow, this is a market structure that making the reversal traders less confident. Do you see what they're doing? Right? They will do the move. They won't keep the stops here for long. But when they finally do the move, you would have taken so many trades that you won't try the real move, or you have blown your account, right? Or you are in doubt, or you are fearful to get in the real move. Who will take the real move? The people who have not taken any trades, who know certain criterias that price leaves on chart to confirm reversal, and we don't have that, right? And I hope those we fall into that category. We get I believe minimum 1 or 2 days in a week like this, right? Either AM session or PM session or London session. We get a choppy session in a week 2 or 3 times, session wise. London session chops when there's 8:30 news, probably chop today. Then we can also chop after the 8:30 news. We can also trend. We left a gap on 50-minute chart unfilled. That can give us some narrative. This one probably working as a breakaway gap. Okay, guys, so a scenario repeating, all right. I'm not gonna categorize it as A plus because of the liquidity that we have lower. But again, A and A scenarios, that's what I feel confident to take them on my live account. I believe a minimum 1-to-1 can be taken from this move. All right, only thing that, okay, wait, can I consider it as A plus or A scenario? We have not closed the candles body yet. I'm gonna demo it. Guys. I mean, if we inverse this, right, that's a trade that I'm gonna demo. Take on my evolution account. I'm not going for a continuation on my live account, right? So let's wait for price to activate it. Do we have a SMT? Seems like we have a SMT. The way we are rejecting. Guys, if you see SMT, help me with that. We don't have a SMT. Look, this move higher looks like a fake move. If I hide the PD arrays, there's a lot of stops here, right? I'm not gonna take this trade. I'm not gonna take it. I feel like I'm like over analyzing. So my focus, I'm gonna limit my focus, right? Trying to do too many things where market is just being one-sided. So we're gonna wait for price to reverse and I believe they will reverse. Look at that. I don't want to go against this. That's too much, guys. That's a clean trend line liquidity. No, not fear of losing, because I'm already in profit, right? I can take this scenario with 0.25% risk and test it, but it's not worth it, all right? Because if I do it today, the motive is to be as patient as possible, all right? That's the motto for me, to take as less trades as possible, to make, like, judge the trades as much as I can, and then if I find confidence, then I should engage. And that's my motto. So not getting confident in this one, not fear of losing, not FOMO, rather fear of being, like, wrong when I know the conditions are not tradable, right? Don't want to regret, fear of regret. I would say like this, fear of regret. No SMT yet, guys. No SMT yet. There is S&P 700. Where do you see it? Because I have my charts open, higher time frame, lower time. I don't see it. I don't see a bearish SMT. Are you talking about a bullish one? Because I see a bullish SMT but not a bearish SMT. Yes, there's a bullish SMT, but not, we are not interested in a bullish scenario. SMT just works as a confirmation. Well, I'm not interested in a bullish scenario. Let me correct on that. Probably you are, right? I'm not confident because the SMT don't give me the trade signal by itself. I need more confirmation with it. And you can ask me, Hydra, with this SMT, can I engage or can I go for a trade with this inversion? I would say I won't feel confident to go for a long from here, because just below it we have a lot of sell stops. And those who are familiar with my trading style and my teaching, I never taught you to trade against them. Rather, I have taught you that's a signature for price to reverse, right? Price leaves this signature on chart when they have a when they want to reverse from a higher time frame key level. So price is reaching for that higher time frame key level. We don't know it. We can't know it every single day. Probably is trying to reach for this and go lower, or probably is trying to come up for these relative equal highs. Other days we know, other days market don't remain one-sided, right? But today is one-sided. It did not return back to any discount, not offered any discounts. Let's see, price will reverse when it reaches 19509 level, saying Bill Bilitis, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. 15509, very close to hourly order blocks. I think I have marked order blocks, right? Yes, hourly bearish order blocks. There's multiple order blocks here. So let's see. Again, you can tape read this, all right? There's nothing wrong to tape read this. We can tape read this. That's a 1-to-1. Again, I explain to you here then that this scenario will very likely provide a 1-to-1. I don't trust it, so not gonna take it, but we can tape read it like this, right? You can demo trade it. There's nothing wrong with that. I hope you are not taking it. If you are taking it, then only if your analysis says that this long will work. All right, trust your analysis. My analysis says to avoid it or just to tape read it. Damn, B setup is working. Should have taken it. Right? That's the feeling I can get when B setup turns into a winning trade. We all get the same feeling. The order block you have marked out from August 1st have clear relative equal highs. If we remain bullish, it will only serve as a reaction point, or is we not hold at all. Yes, I have two expectations from that order block, right? I don't see that order block starting a new trend. All right, so very very likely, I believe 90% of the chance that this order block will just work as a resistance that will provide, suppose, 2 hour, 5 hour, or 10 hour trade. It's not gonna start a trend. And price very likely will try to reach for this. Why this? You will have to go on daily chart, because daily chart has the reason for price to move higher. This has no price action inside it, guys. Drop down to the 4 hour chart, liquidity void, no price action inside it. Strong magnet. Now this is a magnet up here, so this will try to move market higher, right? We are also seeing war escalating between Israel and other third world countries. So if they escalate the war, I believe price will remain bullish. I don't see any reason for us to get long term bearish, right? So let's see. Iran's been like, I don't know what happened with Iran. They're not attacking Israel anymore, or trying to attack Israel anymore. Right? Every day they are waiting for a strike. I think they are trying to like avoid a all-out war. If we see that, then that's gonna be very good for stock. You will see price making another all-time high. B scenario working, right? That gap you pointed out was filled on ES already. Do you consider it still needing to be filled on NQ? Just curious. Yes, the gap when it got filled on NQ, right? That's the time when we don't expect price to come back up and fill the gap, right? And you can see that that's what price did. Price did not try to come up when ES did the business, but on Nasdaq it left unfilled, right? So it was not important when price was going lower from this, because ES already tapped into it. You will see the same scenario repeating many times every single day. You will see price stepping into a fair value gap on Nasdaq and not doing that on ES, making it a breakaway gap and just trending after that, right? So that happens. As for your question, can I see it as a target now? Yes, because price reversed, right? Price reverse, and that's a very strong reverse. There's no bearish candle anywhere here that can be seen. And what can price reach for? If you ask the questions, it could have reached for this fair value gap and then reject. It did not reject, right? It's not showing any willingness to reject on the fair value gap. Mean threshold, usually we respect the mean threshold. The moment when we break the mean threshold, right, I don't trust that fair value gap anymore. I expect continuation of that fair value gap and expect that fair value gap to get violated. If market trending higher, where can that take it? To this liquidity void that has relative equal highs above it, that has unfilled gaps below it, that has relative equal highs below it. So even I don't need price to reach to this to make me profitable, right? But if price is reaching even for these relative equal highs, I'm gonna be profitable. So that's my point of view on that gap. I hope it's clear. If you can use it as a target. Do you think trading London kill zone is good at any day? Not any day, all right, because you can. London is not high probability every day. London was not high probability on Tuesday. What the hell? Because we had news at 8:30. So every single time when we have high impact news incoming at 8:30, those days London session will remain in high resistance or one-sided, or it will chop. Right? So these are the days when you should be focusing at AM session when we have high impact news, and when we don't have high impact news like Monday, you can look for London session. Friday, Thursday, Friday London session, you can trade that, right? As we don't have any high impact news incoming at 8:30. Only high impact news makes you shift from London to New York. Also remember, nothing is 100% on chart. So price can also provide setups at London session in these days, but that's very unlikely, and that's why we avoid doing that. Come on, B scenario working. Like, look at that. This is a trade we saw incoming, but I was not confident in this trade because price left so many trend line. Algorithm it just respecting trend line liquidity today. Look, retails are banking today. Damn, that's a clean respect of trend line. That's very rare to see on Nasdaq on 1 minute chart. We usually don't see that. Right? Look at that. I don't know how they plot the trend line and get precise, but just by looking at it, I think that's very precise. What the hell? I was not expecting this one to work. I shouldn't have this. The structure made me not trust this scenario. Remember me explaining to you here that if price activates this inversion, the scenario will get upgraded to a scenario, and should have trusted it, right? It seems like I missed a 1-to-1. Nice. 40 points move, but no FOMO. See that's a skill that I can repeat again, right? So we wait. That's why I hate this type of market structure, even though I knew what market's gonna be doing here. Because of the structure, right, it made me doubt the scenario and not take the trade and consider it a B scenario. One-sided delivery are the worst market structure to trade, and most profitable for those who know how to trade it, right? I believe Larry William made his world record by trading a one-stage delivery. Do you think the IPTA low is now in having run the 40-day low? IPTA low, no. I think I did an analysis on IPTA recently here, probably. Oh, I have not done it here on this group. Now, I'm not using the IPTA levels right now, right? I'm only using these swing highs and lows from the daily chart. I've used it when price reversed here to know the targets. I've used it to know the 20-day low. We have traded below it. I've used it to know 40-day low. We have traded below it. Right? That's when the IPTA was useful. But right now, IPTA is just like any other confirmation, guys. It's just a confirmation tool like SMT. When I have more confirmation like A plus confirmation on chart, I don't use that. Thanks, HYDRA. With your insight, I was able to take a trade I was confident in and made some money today. Thanks for your teaching. You're welcome. I'm watching NASDAQ as a Netflix series. It's fun, right? It's fun. I love it. I never feel bored, to be honest. And I believe that's one of the reasons that I was able to make it in trading, because I loved it. I'm addicted to it. Even the price is not doing anything, I'm not bored. I'm still interested to see what the next move, when the next move gonna happen, right? People usually do trading for money, and that's when they do wrong. You should not be doing it for money. You should do it to learn, to get precise, to get consistent, right? ICT is done with the streaming. I think he is done with this market structure, right? This is too much patience. When, if it reverses, it could be violent. Yes. If it reverses, it probably will do it with one candle or two candle that we can trade. Right? As I've told you, when we leave this much of stop, the delivery, the next delivery, when we finally reverse, it becomes so impulsive, so much with speed that we can trade. It will be like something like this and this. Probably not even do this. Right? Let's see. And price does that because it don't want to give the chance for people to trail the stop or put a stop, right? He said he could pop in for the PM session. This one worked, guys, but in a scenario, in a low probability scenario. Yes, I'm going to wait for the next macro. Let's wait. That's the last reversal macro for AM session, 10:50 to 11:10. I don't trade after that. All right. Let's see if we present a reversal by then. Let's see if this order block from hourly chart gives any resistance, right? That's our last hope for a trade for this AM session. I think they will be providing resistance from here. We also traded at a nice price level, 19,500. That's too much of a sell side liquidity. Lot of equal lows. Okay, let's find out from where I can take a trade. Five-minute had a nice inversion. Okay, I can use this as a breaker. Right, I don't see anywhere for me to execute prior that, because on 1 minute chart we don't have anything at this current dealing range, right? From this swing low to the high, we don't have any PD area to go for a short other than some order blocks, and I see them as low probability. So only PD area that I see is on 3 minute chart. These are down close candles. We can use them as breaker. Again, we'll have to wait. We could just be building liquidity to come back for the 4-hour fair value gap that will be there at 2 p.m. I out the idea in the NQ chart at 2 p.m. at the 4-hour fair value gap. Okay, let me see. Yeah, this one, yes, we can do that. We can do that at a PM session, right? That's a nice view on chart. And it makes sense for price to do it at the next 4-hour candle, right? Rather than doing it at the current 4-hour candle C4. Yeah, it makes much more sense to do it at the next candle. Probably they will keep this candle chopping. And next candle, as you can see, can give us a power of 3 to this unfilled 4-hour gap. That makes sense. That makes sense. A lot more sense than doing a reversal now at AM session. But let's wait. Probably hourly chart has some. Yeah, same thing on hourly chart as well. We have a BC coming below this low. Let's see. I'll be here with you all by until 10. So if price provides anything by then, I'll take it. It will have to be a plus. It will have to be a sell side delivery. And it will have to, the reversal confirmation will have to come from 3 or 5 minute chart. Macro in 3 minutes. Yes, our macro starting in 3 minutes. We have seen reversal yesterday inside this macro, I believe. We took a trade yesterday inside this macro. Let me check. Yes, it was at 10:50 to 11:10. And that was the reversal. Prior that, price was one-sided, as you can see. Very similar to today's market structure. Right after 9:30, we remained one-sided. Same thing we did today. That's why it's so important to keep journal, guys. All right, I've shown you way to journal. Those who don't know, you should be journaling like this, macro by macro. You should not be journaling just the pattern, rather what price did prior the macro, right? That's important because that's your target. You can see we left a lot of trendline liquidity. So very similar to today's market structure. Let's hope price provides something nice. We have a breaker here. Damn, I don't want to miss the reversal. Also don't want to be impulsive and getting into the wrong move. We have a breaker, right? Still not a plus scenario to me. I would like to see this fair value gap getting violated. And I think I can trust the reversal after that. Alright, I think I don't have to wait for the breaker on 5-minute chart, because I don't see the continuation of the trend after this low. This low has a hourly fair value gap, right? Let's see, guys. I'm gonna risk 0.5%. Seems like we are seeing the reversal. We have closed below. We are closing below this breaker. That's an A plus breaker, pattern wise. You deliver swing high. Oh no, no, that's not an A plus breaker. So this is the target, right? This is this 15-minute gap you see, where we had previously an SMT. This very likely will work as the target. This inefficiency. Okay, we closed below the breaker. That's the first signal we have as for market structure shift. We have closed below it. Retested it, now going lower. I would like to see this fair value gap getting violated. From here, the scenario is still B to me. Otherwise, the pattern activated, right? Scenario B, that's why I'm not outlining it. Otherwise, I'm watching it like this. I'm not interested in a trade from here, rather from the inversion. So I have this on my mind for a 2-hour scenario, and I want to take a trade from here or possibly here with a little bit more confirmation, with a little bit more confirmation, because on 1-minute chart we don't get a high probability market structure shift on 1 minute when we are trending, when we are one-sided, right? And we have seen that, so don't want to get wrong. Okay, looks good to me now. Looks good to me now. Wait for me to execute. Okay, how much? Let me see how much I can risk. One contract, 3. Okay, I'm only gonna do one contract if we close lower. 355, not even 0.5% of the account. Still not closed below. Now out of macro, no, it's not out of macro. We are trading inside the macro. Is it gonna close lower? Okay, risk the amount that you can tolerate, guys. All right, I'm risking below 0.5% of my account, so don't risk something that you won't be able to tolerate. I'm risking what I can tolerate. That won't affect me at all. An amount that I'm willing to lose 300 for around $400 per trade. I make $1,000 to $1,500, so not bad. Let's see. All right, risky trade, still in B scenario. So do it with less risk. Look, the way we are closing this candle, right? If you have not taken a trade, then wait. I pushed it because that's what I do once I get the signal for a scenario minimum. So price gave a scenario, structure wise not looking a plus to me. Let's see what they do. My stop is coming just above the last down close candle here. Risky trade. Oh, partial can be made down here at this BC. You can see that we have a BC here on 5-minute chart, right? So this is a level for partial. I have only one contract, so I'm not aiming for a partial here, right? So but those who have more than one contract, make sure you're going for the partial never fails to pay. I'm gonna trail the stop. Price moved in my favor, so I think the risk is now, I think, $150. This is the level coming for partial. As you can see, 5-minute has a fair value gap with order blocks, so unicorn structure. I'm gonna trail my stop to break even as soon as we reach for this gap. All right, there's no reason for to get hope to make this trade profitable or a W. Okay, trailing my stop above the inversion because I see I think price will be trying to form a SMT here. Same exact levels can be seen on ES. So I'm trailing it to this order block, sorry, this breaker block, as you can see, this one. Are you blind, Anirudh? You don't see final TP? When I'm in a trade, try to ask me less questions, as much less questions as possible, because I'm trying to be as focused here on chart, right? All right, so seems like they want to reverse again. Stop is at safe place, I think. So if they are going above this level, I don't want to hold. And I believe they will continue going lower because look at this, they also violated this one, right? So if they move higher, then I'm really wrong, and the stop will be playing out, which is now a stop of $225, right? So 11 points, not bad. in terms of risk. We have made more than that yesterday. You can take partial and then hold, right? You don't have to close it here. It's my TP. I'm going to close it here as I have only one contract. I think they will go even lower and go below this, as I have told you, right? 19405. That here we have an hourly gap. Is it hourly or 15-minute? Yeah, it's a 15-minute gap. So price very likely will try to reach for this, but as we see chart by target wise, right, we get easily 2 hour. We don't have to like hold or wait much longer for a trade. Look at this delivery, guys. Price not don't want to move lower. The candle weak closed higher. Okay, I was wrong. If this inversion not holding, I was wrong. And they still want to move higher. 5-minute BPR. Small BPR here. Staying out today, calling it a day here. Thanks as always, HYDRA. Appreciate it. You're welcome. Yeah, I was wrong, guys. Can't do anything. Can't do anything in a market structure like this. I tried to be as patient as I can, and that's a stop loss that can be made back easily. Of again, I told you to go as low as you can in this trade, right? In terms of risk, what you tolerate to lose, because we are trying to trade the opposite move in a market that is bullish. Market is one-sided. So that's a loss we took for 11 points. One L negative 10 points. Our gains were much more yesterday. Worth taking it, as price gave those signal. All good. I take partial when price moves. Low P. Thanks, either logging off. Yes, this was a nice one. Nice trade for 1-to-1. Right, that stop gave us a 1-to-1 delivery. That was the ideal target to target 1-to-1 in this scenario. Stopped. Still a good call. Definitely done for the day. Yes. Not worth it. If you want to trade, then come back. Try to do it at PM. Right, next 4-hour candle very likely will do the reversal. Yeah, there's a lot of maybe today. This market structure is not giving us something to be confident with, right? I cannot risk 3 4 contracts in this trade, in this market structure. So there's a lot of maybe. That's why we are staying out. That's why we have not taken any trades other than this one yet, right? We'll have to know exactly what price can do with a high degree of winning, like 60 70% 80% of chance. It's 50-50 now, right? I don't have an edge when price is in high resistance, guys, but that's a loss that we can tolerate. Losses are inevitable. I hope you guys managed my position like me, right? Let's see what they do with this. Let's see what they try to do with this market structure. SMT with yes. Yes, we have a SMT with yes now. What? After taking me out? They formed the SMT now. Oh my god. So they came to take me. Is it? I think ICT is saying the truth. Algorithm sees our stop, right? Especially the people who are streaming. Nah, look at that. What the hell? Can you believe that it came for my stop? And now it formed a nice SMT showing willingness to reverse. The market is just playing with us, guys. This is a market condition, all right, that does this. Market, again, I try to be stayed out of this market as much as I can. Market is doing nothing other than generating emotion, making you think, okay, it's gonna go lower. Yeah, making try again, right? You are correct now. That's the feeling that is generating, and as soon as you go for that trade, market will reverse. This is not the structure to trade. I'm logging off. I'm done. I don't care. All right, this is a market structure to generate emotions, and they are being successful with it. They finally made me take a trade, and that turned out to be a losing trade, right? Again, I don't have an edge when market is doing like this. Okay, I know it. I hope tomorrow is not something like this. We are already in profit, so gonna be logging out. Let's wait and see what they do with this move, all right? And then I'm gonna log out. Not gonna do a PM stream because I don't think PM's gonna be good either. Either it's gonna be too volatile that you can trade, or market will be done after doing 1 or 2 moves, right? There's always tomorrow, and again, I was not considering tomorrow as high probability. I was considering today as high probability, and seems like today turned out to be low probability, right? One-sided. So I believe market will be giving us high probability scenarios tomorrow. Now this came to stop me out. Crazy. Let's watch. Those who will be watching the chart, right? Usually when we are not reversing by 50 to 10, we reverse at 11 20 to 40. I would recommend you not to try to trade that on live account. See, I've taken a loss on live account, right? So try to trade that on your demo account if you get the reversal. And I think you can take trades on live account at a PM session. Next 4-hour candle, as we talked with C4, right? Next 4-hour candle can possibly do the reversal. Very likely that they will do the reversal with the next candle. It makes sense, right? As we have talked, price can chop at this candle a lot. Next candle opens, probably will take us higher a little bit more, or form a SMT and then take us into this 4-hour gap, right? It makes sense for price to do it at the next candle, and the next candle opens at PM. So can we wait? I see a order block. I see a B long. Should I outline it? I see a B long, guys. Let's tape read this one. All right, a B scenario. Again, not taking this. Don't recommend it. B scenarios are meant to be demo trading, tape reading. The last one worked. Let's see how this one goes. There's nothing wrong to tape read. And that's the order block. That's the scenario. I outlined it because if you look at the structure, I think we formed a SMT somewhere here. Yes, with ES we formed a SMT lower, and then we activated the order block. As market is one-sided, I think this will work out. So depends on you how you want to see it. Also, if you look at 5-minute chart, right? If you look at 5-minute chart, we inverted this fair value gap. So that's why I outlined the scenario. This is our third scenario that we outlined today. We outlined one here, 1 to 1. This one worked. Demo trades work. Demo trade seems like working today. The short failed. And this one's working. You can also like tape read it from here. That's also price giving you chance to execute basically, right? With a stop here. Suppose that's your entry at this candle. Suppose I entered here the way I tape read with a stop loss down here. That's a new low. If price going below, breaking this low, it will eventually break the order block. So that's why the stops here, entry here, target 2R. Again, getting the confirmation for the move higher from 5-minute chart. Look, we inverted the gap. We are also respecting a order block, seems like. Yes, so as you can see, market is one-sided. Every long that we outlined worked. The long from here worked. The long here worked. The short we tried to reverse and failed. Trend is our friend today, right? Trend is the friend. The saying, the old saying, old retail saying is like getting proof today. You go try to go against trend, that's a losing trade. Follow the trend, enter from any PD array, that's a W. But this is not a market structure that we usually see. All right, don't get tricked by market. What we usually see, we know how to trade that. Right? I'm not confident in this scenario because this is a market structure that I don't trade. This is a market structure that repeats less of the time. I'm not confident in it. Right? But you can be. See, I'm outlining the trade, giving you entry signals exactly. Entry candle by candle. See, I told you that suppose that's your entry. Imagine that's my entry at the candle with a stop down here. And two, I should have taken it, right? Damn. Should learn to like trust one-sided deliveries more, probably. But the scenario also repeated outside macro, right? It gave entry here when it shifted from the order block. I've seen it here. Remember me outlining the trade here as well, then at this candle as well. So that was a nice calling. We called market 3 times today. You can see here, this was our first calling from the inversion. That's 1 to 1, right? This one worked. Damn, should have taken these B setups. And this is what I took. It gave 1 to 1, and I was targeting for 2R. Failed. Now this is me calling the market, right? I'm not taking this trade, so people think like these are not the trades that I'm calling. I'm calling the trade. Again, I tell you, try to be independent, right? I'm not taking it because I'm not confident, but I see it, so you can use me as an indicator. And if your analysis says okay, you can expect higher price action, you can be confident in that trade, you can go for this, right? And if you want to be like me, that's more good because less is more always. That's how you get consistent. Anybody took this trade? Anybody took it on demo? Anybody took it on live? Share execution if you took that, provided a partial, right? And 27 point. The motive is to learn, so I hope you guys found it insightful, the calling here on this one. Again, it was logical, right? I did not just call it randomly like ICT. I explained to you why price should be moving higher, and that's what happened. Okay, we tapped into the hourly order block. Is it the reversal? Is it the reversal or not? That's the question now. Is it the reversal or not? We have a nice breaker on 5-minute chart, right? Can turn into a nice breaker. Now I'm not trusting the reversal, right? This is a one-sided market. Now I'm gonna wait. We see I made a mistake here. I entered with 1-minute market structure shift, where I should have waited. I felt impulsive, guys. I should have waited for 3 or 5 minute. So now, if I want to take a reversal, I'm gonna wait for a 3 or 5-minute market structure shift. All right, like this one. This one looks very nice. If this inverts, coming also at a 1500 nice price level. So my focus is at this fair value gap right now. Those who took it, W. Those who learned, W. Because the setup gonna repeat again. See, he took it long. Who is that? Roxy. Nice. Staying under 40% rule. That's very nice. Miss TP by a tick. Mahi a long nice. Nice long, guys. This one also nice. Oh, you. That's very nice. Like, look at this. He executed as soon as I. Now, this is what I don't have in this scenario, right? This level of confidence. I saw the trade here. I saw the trade also here, but I was not confident to push. Look at his execution. He heard me calling and he pushed the button here. This is the level of confidence that I need in this market structure. I usually have this when market is zigzagging, right? But it's one-sided market. I don't have that. That's nice. That's nice to see. W Chronos. Here's another one. Yeah, that's the reason. I think that's the reason, ZP. The demo trades have been working today because the market makers cannot see your stops on demo. That's, suppose I'm ICT, I would make the excuse. This is the best excuse for me. If suppose ICT was doing this, nah, nobody's seeing my stop. This is me made mistake. All right, it's not. It's very much visible. I know that when market is trending, I should not be engaging for a reversal with a 1 minute confirmation, and it failed. I did it with 1 minute confirmation. What I did wrong, I did not see the trade from exact level, right? Look at that. This was the exact level to go for a short from this breaker as soon as we closed below at this candle. This candle closed below, and then target like a 1 to 2. Price did delivered 1 to 2 from the from the breaker. I needed a little bit more confirmation and entered from the wrong PDR. So me doing wrong. It's not price seeing my stop. It's just price doing the same move that it does in a larger scale, now doing in a smaller scale, right? So price not seeing my stop. I'm not seeing the real move on chart. That was the problem. And that's where ICT hesitates to speak. He is too arrogant, I think, in this sense, to accept the fact that he is wrong. Right? Sometimes we all get wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. $20 to $40. Okay, last macro I'm gonna trade with you all. Let's see. Still can take one more trade. I think it's not worth the secondary confirmation on the short because of the strong trend. I did the same as you, except I took my money for fast and intended to enter on a retest or a test of an invalidation point. Again, being in a strong trend, it's better to be safe, super safe. Going counter, yes. Yes, usually when price is not trending, right, it provides the reversal by 950 or 1020 or 1050. If it's not doing that by now, know that it's in a strong trend. If it does not do that by 10:10, I know the price is in strong trend and should be relying on 3 and 5 minute higher time frame reversal confirmation. When it's not trending like yesterday, we did not wait it for a higher time frame confirmation. We saw a shift on 1 minute chart, we engaged. This is the kind of day the reversal happens in the lunch hour. Definitely sucks, yes. Nice execution, Gua. Seems like a lot of you took this trade, right? So W. Okay, so we remained bullish. The majority were correct. Do you guys see that? I forgot about this pool we did this morning. Right? Majority 55% bullish, 21% bearish, 6% secondary. So majority were correct. That's nice to see. The previous trade is still working. I don't see any intention for price to violate this fair value gap, right? It's not looking like they want to do it prior PM. But 3 to 5 trades per week. So 3 to 5 trades per week should be the goal. Yes, 3 to 5. I think that's a very nice number for scalpers, right? We have taken, I think, more than that already. I traded yesterday, so this week I've taken live trades only yesterday. We have taken 3 trades. We have taken 3 trades, right? So yeah, we usually take 5 to 6 trades on stream in a week. I don't think we take more than that on live. My last trade attempt is at this price, retest of CB after inversion on 1 minute. Retest of CB. You took a long. Well, I think long's gonna work. Market being one-sided. Algorithm not seeing these as stop today, right? It's leaving the stops. So many longs. Imagine how many longs are here. The move that's incoming gonna be very, very, very volatile. Mark my words on that. Thinking in terms of 3 to 6 trades per week helps us stay out of low probability days. Yes. Um, yes, because in a week we don't get like a whole week to trade. There's always days that are low probability. Okay, do we have a SMT? We don't. We don't have a SMT. We don't have a bearish SMT, but seems like we'll have a bullish one. If we move a bit lower, I don't trust this move lower because of these equal highs. But let's see if we violate this fair value gap from 5-minute chart. That's looking like a high probability short to me. All right. To me, that's looking like a scenario on 5-minute chart. If this turns into an inversion, right? Try to remember we have taken trades looking exactly the same with this scenario, but the different was our W's that were looked similar like this had no opposing liquidity levels like this. We either had a SMT or this level was clean in other scenarios, or it was at least clean on yes. But so let's see what we want to do. If we violate this inversion, then probably I will think for a short. If not, then we can also look for a long, right? Because price can go higher. I see a bullish SM. Let me confirm if we have. We don't have bullish SMT, but we have bullish targets, relative equal highs, right? So probably seeing this. Okay, wait. I see a fair value gap. I see a long. I see another long. With a stop down here. Yeah, easy 1 to 1. 2R gonna be a little bit struggle. I don't see it doing 2R, but I see it at least delivering 30 points. 1.5R. So let's tape read this one. Well, I think we can take this one. Let's see if we violate this gap. Look, 3-minute chart, we are getting support from a unicorn pattern order block with fair value gap, right? So that's why I think we can go for a small one contract again, risking 325. That means I have taken a loss for $200. So 3, 4, 5, $600. I can tolerate this easy. So let's see if we close above. If we close above, I'm giving it a shot. That's gonna be the last trade for me. Still not violated. This is a scenario to me, guys. So if we violate this, to me it's looking like a scenario for a long. So let's see. We did not violate the fair value gaps, right? That I was expecting to see as inversion. So that was the first signal for a continuation higher. And the second signal was, look at this order block that we respected with fair value gap on 1-minute chart. Also, there's relative equal high in a form of as target. Also, we are inverting this fair value gap. So I think it is worth doing one contract. It will put me on a 0.5% loss for today. We also have breaker here. So I want to give it a try because I've taken same exact looking trade so many times before. Let me find an example on Twitter that looks exactly like this one. Not with this many candles though. We are in high resistance today, but other days when I took this trade, we were in low resistance. Yes, this one. Look at this scenario. Price is trending. This structure formed in between a trend, right, and looks exactly the same relative equal high, same inversion, but a lot more candles today. That's the difference, making the scenario low probability. Again, that's a signature of high resistance, right? Okay, going for a long. Just want to see the closure. All right, you can execute now. I think it's price already did the business lower. I just want to make sure a little bit more confirmation. So I want to see the closure above, and the next one are gonna be an entry with a stop just below the swing low. So very tight stop, risking and again another 10 points. Worth it, I would say worth it. Let's say I can take this again. Risk the amount that you can take, right? The scenarios are low probability, conditions are low probability, so just be a little bit more careful in terms of your risk tolerance. Why my chart is looking like this? What? Why don't I see the entry? Do you guys see the entry, or is it like glitching? What? It seems like it's glitching. Let me refresh. What is glitching very hard? Look, the what I had down here written trade of it is not here. What? Market makers attacking my computer now, guys. What the hell? After attacking my stop, now they are coming for my PC. That's crazy. Now they don't want me winning today. Yes. They don't want me to get right. When they can't stop me with a stop loss, right? They are trying to glitch my computer. Okay, my stop is just below this order block. Look, I hope this works. Looks like this, right? Okay, where's my TP? I don't see my TP. Did I put a TP or not? Okay, the TP is gonna be 1 to 1. I would do a 1 to 1. I don't trust this market. No, that's 12. It's not even worth it. 20 points. Okay, a 2R makes sense. Okay, closing it at 19. Up here at 19 537. Damn, working. Finally a W. W in the chart. See, as I told you, I have an edge identifying A plus scenario. Didn't I tell you? At least my A and A plus scenario will give at least a partial. Gotta wait, guys. You know, you will have to be as patient as you can. Okay, I'm gonna trail my stop a lot more once we get the partial. Alright, as I have only one contract, I'm gonna trail my stop to break even or below the breaker here. Market is in high resistance, it's struggling to go higher. Where's my tools? Here comes the breaker. My PC is glitching. What? Where's? I don't see my tools here. What? Where's the trade away sign, guys? This is that type of glitch that never happened with me. I don't even see if I'm on a live account or a demo account. What the hell? I hope I took this on a live account, right? Didn't I took it on a live account? I think I was in my live account, right? It was not a paper trading account. I hope I'm not glitching. Okay, that's a 20 point, guys. Easy 20 point. We were able to mitigate the loss. W in the chat. W in the chat. Finally a W. All right. Consistency. And judge me on, again, I say every day, judge me on my A and A plus trades. Right? Rather than judging me on B scenarios, judge me on A scenarios. I know where I have my edge. And that's what differentiates me and you. You don't know where you have edge, right? Are you in demo account? Why does it matter? I'm gonna block this guy. Who's that? Christian Vargas. Okay, blocked. Demo or live trade is a trade. Okay, 2 trades, 1 loss, 1 W. Nice session. Patience pays, guys. Patience eventually pays. And it eventually paid. Right? Let me take a screenshot because people gonna say I don't take these trades live. Right? There's a lot of people, there's a lot of haters. We give them no attention. It's looking very beautiful in this structure. Look. From here, it looks very nice. Order block. Now again, if you are only looking at 1 minute chart, you won't see this trade, right? It's not 1 minute chart. Sorry, it's we did not get the confirmation from 1 minute chart. Remember, I had an opposite view first. I wanted to see reversals. I wanted to see 5 minute. Okay, let me do a little bit of explanation here. All right, because there's a lot of newbies trying to help them. So look at 3 minute chart. This is where I got the confirmation. All right, just gonna go over what I saw real quick. Order block, right? Order block. Again, I told you guys that when price is trending a long time ago, rely on the market structure shift from 3 and 5 minute chart, right? And market structure shift did not happen on 3 and 5 minute chart. You won't find any market structure shift on 3 and 1 minute 5 minute chart, right? So the loss that I took, it was a mistake, as I explained to you all. That's a corrector flow. The loss happened because I was not able to read the chart correctly, right? And I understood that's a mistake. I did not repeat it here again. I relied on 3 and 5 minute chart market structure shift. And that's how I found this trade. You will have to look at this part. I was waiting for price to go below this breaker, and before that I was waiting for price to violate these two fair value gaps. It did not do that, right? Remember, I was waiting to see price closing below, and I told you price gonna be making a scenario if it violates this breaker fair value gap. If it does not violate this fair value gap, what does it indicate? It's indicating a high probability continuation of the trend with a pattern order block with fair value gap. How can you know price is gonna be respecting the fair value gap? You can know that by looking at the closure of the candle's body. Again, you will have to be patient, all right? Those who are not patient won't see any of that. Those who always thinking about a W winning trade won't see that. As soon as I outlined the trade, I first counted how much I'm gonna lose in this trade, right? Remember, I was counting again and again. That's real money I'm putting in this trade. So even $500 matters a lot. I risked only $350. Altogether, I would have had a $600 losing. So this fair value gap and the order block gave the signal. As market is one-sided, I thought why not give it a shot. Pattern wise it's looking a plus. Market structure wise, that's a market structure that I very rarely trade or very rarely find consistency. But when you zoom in, right, this is a market structure that I have traded a lot of times. That's a proof. See, that's a trade that I have taken with you all live. Looks exactly the same as this one. Didn't I told you it's looking exactly the same as the other setup that I took? I know it's on my mind always because I've been seeing and doing the same thing for past 3 years. Same thing. So I know, and that's how I categorize the setup. You want me to teach you how I categorize the setup? It's because I have the experience. It's because I've seen these setups so many times, right? My Twitter, if you go on my Twitter page, you will see hundreds of examples of the structure that looks same as this one. All right? That's what makes me confident. Again, you cannot overcome experience, guys, all right? In trading, it's not how much you learn, it's how much experience you have with a single teaching, with a specific teaching. It's not how much experience you have with different mentors, different teaching, rather how much experience you have with one single theory or concept. It can be ICT, it can be retail, but you'll have to give it all you have, your best. You cannot change it from one strategy to another. Look at this structure and tell me it's not different than what I took just right now. Why won't I categorize this structure as a plus? Do you see any reason for me not to categorize this as a plus? No. My whole Twitter feed is full of same market looking structure. And I found confident in this trade because every single time I'm looking for a pattern, I'm also looking at higher time frame, right? Higher time frame is mother of all trades. Higher time frame showed the way. No hesitation to execute on lower time frame. We took a loss for 13 points. We took a W for 20 points. Mitigated the losses toward W. Quitting here, closing the stream here, guys. All right, a lot longer than we usually stream. Showed a level of patience that you won't see in any other traders. How many trades we took? 2 in all this move, right? I outlined more setups than this to you. So that's a stream you wanna review again. All right, please don't be lazy because you wanna be independent. All right, and you will be able to do these things. Imagine you doing these things alone, and imagine you being confident like me, not losing your mind over one losses, not feeling for FOMO if you miss a long, right? I did miss this long. I did miss another long here. Did I get FOMO? No. No FOMO, no feelings at all. People will tell you that the losses they take, that's a business. The wins they take, that's a business. They don't feel any emotion, but you won't see them doing it live. I come and prove to you that you can control those emotions with a model, right? Sometimes I make mistakes. I'm a human being, but majority of the time, I show you the path. So I gotta continue doing that tomorrow as well. Until I catch you tomorrow, take care. Good luck with trading. Review this stream again, and I'm gonna catch you again tomorrow. Peace.